What's up, Blood on the Razor Wire TV? Back at you with another episode. We bring it real, we bring it raw. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, share this on your social media, share this with everybody that needs to hear it. Definitely make sure you hit that notification button so you get notified when we drop videos. And you know what? I hope that someone gets this message because I'm sure you've seen the title, Shootout at the Crack House. There's a reason why we did that. Why? Because I want you to think about what your life's worth. Is your life worth sitting in a crack house? Is your life worth sitting in a dope spot? Is your life worth spending the rest of your life in prison? That's what the message is today. So let's get to it, right? Some people are like, damn, man, white dude selling crack. Chad, how'd you become involved in selling crack? And how the hell were you involved in a shootout at a crack house? We're going to talk about it, man, because it's important that we talk about it. It's important that if you're watching this video and you haven't been involved in that type of stuff, that you avoid it at all costs because you're worth so much more. I believe that. So let's get to it, man. Started selling crack when I was a young man, right? And I remember when it started with fake cocaine. I was tired of being broke, tired of being poor. My homeboy was selling drugs for his uncle. I thought he was cool. I thought he was doing better than us because he had shoes on. He was renting cars from, back then we called them fiends. $20 bag of crack would let him get a car. Some drug addict would give them their car. And he'd tell them he's just taking it for an hour, and he'd take it for 4 or 5 hours. And they'd be calling and complaining and looking for him. He'd be out joyriding. Like he was that dude at the age of 14. I thought I wanted to be that dude. I was tired of being broke, tired of being poor. So I first started selling fake cocaine. And I remember one time when I was on Lyle Avenue and I had sold these dudes some fake crack, fake cocaine. It wasn't crack back then, it was cocaine. Sold them some fake cocaine, some white dudes with long hair. They were listening to rock and roll. I thought I was that dude, right? Sold them some fake cocaine. I was going to take that money and go buy myself an 8-ball or a 16th back then. I robbed these dudes. They end up coming back, man. They must have went home, tried to cook that powder up that I had sold them, realized it was fake, and they came back. And I remember them in a minivan. They open up the minivan door slider. I'm standing out there, and they shoot at me with a 12-gauge shotgun. Boom! Boom! And I start running. Boom, over the fence, I'm running. I get away. By the grace of God, I get away, man. But my life was worth what? $100? I chanced my life that night for $100, man. And I was still trying to sell some fake cocaine to get a little bit more to go buy some real cocaine so I could get on. That was the first time, man. But later on, something vicious happened in my life. It's not a secret, man. I had a couple drug spots in my city, man, in Ghost Town on the northwest side. It was on Dewey Avenue. I had a spot. I had just dropped off. I had just bagged up what we called back then a 62. Might have been like $4,500 worth of $20 bags of crack. I had just dropped it off, and about an hour later, my homeboys called me, my workers back then. They say, yo, Chad, come through. And I'm like, damn, it was a Friday night. I'll never forget that. I'm like, damn, they sold all that on a Friday night that fast? But there was something inside, man. My intuition told me, man, something ain't right. So instead of me going, I sent someone else. I had a relative, man. He was mentally challenged. I'm not going to lie to you. He's mentally challenged, but man, he wanted to hustle. He's like a cousin to me. He's about 6'4", over 350 pounds probably. I'm like, yo, man, take this over there, man. See what's up. So he catches a cab. He goes to the house, knocks on the door. Someone opens the door with a gun, and they bring him inside at gunpoint. And they make everybody in the house get butt naked. My workers, everybody. So my workers just called me because these dudes told them, hey, call Chad. We want the big man here. That's what they said. Call him. Tell him you're out. And had I not dropped that dope off, when I say dope, I mean crack. When I dropped that crack off, had it not been so close in time, I would have went there to that house. And things probably might have got a lot worse. Because I'm sure they would have took me, they would have kidnapped me, and they would have demanded a whole lot more than what they had got out of the house. So anyway, they get everybody butt naked in the house, man. These dudes actually sexually assault one of the girls that the workers had over there that they had met on the chat line, for those of you that remember the chat line. They had sexually assaulted her, stripped all my workers, slapped them around, pistol whipped them, And then the kid I said is like my cousin. They try to make him strip. They rob him. He hands him the drugs. Tell him to take his clothes off. He's a big dude. He gets crazy. He runs out of the house. Along with another dude, a Spanish dude. They both run out of the house. One of them with no clothes on. I think just a pair of boxers. This makes these dudes want to leave. So these dudes leave. They run out of the house. They already got all the dope. They ran out of the house. But while they were there robbing them dudes and had them dudes waiting for me, they were selling the dope that they had stolen. They were making sure they got some cash. And we had some spots rocking back then. I'm not proud of that, but we had some spots rocking. So we go back. We find out who these dudes are. And we shoot at these dudes, man. We shoot at them. Let them know that, hey, man, we mean business, right? Or were we just faking? Because we didn't shoot. We didn't hit them. We were faking. We shot their house up. And the next night they return. And this is the house right here. See that house right there? See that upstairs bedroom window? One of the homeboys happens to look out the window and says, yo, man, them dudes are out front. So me and my other homeboy, we run upstairs. We got a 12 gauge up there. And this was the kid that was my homeboy, man. We're going to talk a little bit about him. They called him Wody. This is a picture of Wody right here. Me and Wody, we run upstairs, man. And I'll never forget this. I open the curtain and I feel the glass hit me in the face. Glass hits me right in the face. Before I ever heard the gunshot, I heard the glass. They just shot a 380. They had a 380. They had a little pistol, right? But that small 380 could kill you, man. So they shoot into the window. Psh, psh, psh. And next thing I know, big Wody right here, he's laying on the ground. Chad, they shot me. They shot me. Oh, shit, I'm gonna die, man. They shot me. And I'm like, oh, shit. And then it was like Matrix, man. Everything got real slow. I remember reaching over and grabbing 12 gauge, and I'm on the side of the window right here. You see that window up there? That top window, that's the window they shot at. And I stood on the side, and I unloaded the 12 gauge shotgun. We had a slug in there, a bird shot, a slug, a bird shot, slug, bird shot. And I'm shooting back. Boom. Boom. I think it was 5 shots, 6 shots, right? 1 in the chamber, 5 in the chute. And I unload them shots, man. And had we not had a gun in there, we'd probably be dead, because them dudes would have came in that house. Later turned out these dudes were running around robbing everybody, shooting people. So had I not returned fire at these cats, we could have been dead. So Wody's laying on the ground, and ironically as this may sound, he had a tattoo of Jesus Christ on his arm. And where they shot him right through the eyes. They shot Jesus, that Jesus tattoo, right through the eyes. He's laying on the ground, he's crying. Blood all over the place, I'm panicking. I'll tell the homeboys, take the drugs, take the crack, flush it. Usually I'm never sitting in a crack house, man. But back then I used to get bored just sitting at home. And I used to go to the spot, man, which is absolutely ridiculous. Sometimes I go to the spot because that's where my friends were at, man. The dudes that worked for me were my friends. They were kids I grew up with. We'd sit in there, we'd be playing that Madden. They'd be selling drugs. And I'd be sitting there thinking I was that dude, man. I was that man. I was the boss of these dudes. I was the man. But really, man, I was a dummy, man. Remember that video we did about dummies? I was the dummy, man. I just took a chance with my life for a couple $1,000s for a 62. What's a 62? 2 ounces, 6 grams of crack back then. Bagged up. Back then, 4,200, 4,500. All right size bags. Took a chance with my life for $4,500. That's what I was worth, man. What are you worth today? But the story don't end there. That shootout at the crack house? No, it don't end there. Let's talk some more about that shootout, man. So now after they shoot at us, Wody, ambulance comes, they take him to the hospital, the police come, they want to investigate. I told the homeboys, flush all the crack down the toilet, we lost all that money. But the next day, man, I felt like, we got to do something about this. I knew where these dudes were at. They're on another side street, man. Another side street in my neighborhood. Someone told me, yo, I just seen them dudes. So I get one of the homies to start to drive me. We ended up renting a car from a fiend, from what we would call a fiend back then, a drug addict, a person that was suffering, and that we were a part of their suffering by providing drugs. So we rent the car. They tell me where the dudes are at. Wody's in the hospital. He's alive. And I drive down this street. I think these people are on the left side. This is a little car back there. I think it was a Ford Escort. These dudes were on the right side. Again, man, they don't have a gun on them. I got a 12 gauge, so I got to spin the 12 gauge around and I shoot at these dudes, man. Boom. Boom. I'm shooting at these cats. For Wody, man. For me, but for Wody. They shot Wody. I think we got to return fire. We got to hit one of them. We got to do something. Because we don't want to take any chances of them coming back. So I load the shotgun on these dudes again, man. And you might think I was faking, but I wasn't. But I wasn't a good shot, and I'm shooting out of a Ford Escort. Thank God, man, neither one of them dudes were hit outside in front of that house. Could have been sentenced to life for murder, right? 2 murders, 50 years, man. What was I worth? I don't know. You know, I did that for Wody, man. I thought Wody was my right-hand man and all of that stuff. And, you know, I'm out there shooting. I'm out there taking a chance for my life, trying to stand up for, you know, what I think, you know, we are. And, you know, my judge had said we were street punks in my case. He had labeled me as a street punk when he sentenced me. And I'm going to keep it real with you, man. I was a street punk, man. 100% that judge was right, man. I was a street punk. I was a bad dude. I was a troublemaker. I was an idiot. But most of all, I was a dummy, man. I was taking a chance with my life for nothing. For a couple $1,000s, I was taking a chance with my life. What about you? That's what I want to know. What about you? What are you worth? I end up sentenced to 40 years in federal prison. You know, unfortunately, man, my partner, Wody, our friendship was destroyed, man. I was out there putting my life on the line. And don't make no mistakes, man. This kid was a dangerous dude in the street, too. He'd shoot you in a minute, man. Horrible to say, but this kid would shoot you in a minute. Wouldn't even think twice. He would do what I asked him to do. Why? Because he was a dummy. And I was a bigger dummy. And in the end, this is what the federal government does, right? They take Wody to court. They give him an 851 notice. And they tell him, yo, you're facing 50 years, bro. That's your mandatory minimum. Chad's mandatory minimum is 40. He don't have a prior drug felony, but you do. We're charging you with 2 924Cs. That's 5 years for the first one. 25 for the second. That's 30 years right there. We're going to give you 10 years for the drugs, but we're going to double that mandatory minimum because you have a prior drug felony, Wody. Mandatory minimum is 50 years. But we're going to make a deal with you, man. You want a deal? We're going to make a deal with you, man. We're going to give you 25 years. We're going to cut that in half. We're going to allow you to cop out to 20 years for the drugs and 1 924C, 25 years. But you need to cooperate. We need to talk to you. And Wody made a conscious decision to do that. The Titanic was going down, man. Did he want to be on the boat with me? So he ends up testifying at my trial. He's up there for 4 or 5 days. And they cut his sentence from 25 years to 12 and a half years. He does about 10 years, gets out, and goes home. That's the other part you need to understand when you're in the street, man. Not many people stay silent, man. When they start talking about 50 years, and you know, you can talk that street stuff now, but when they start talking about 50 years, what do you think most people are going to do? And don't get it twisted. This dude was a gangster in the street. What do you think he's going to do? What do you think he did? What do you think your homeboy's going to do? Have you seen that movie or that show, that First 48? You know what they're going to do, man. 9 times out of 10, this is what people do. They're going to jump out that window and save themselves, man, and put you in the cooker. Trust me, I had a 3-week-long trial. Family members, friends, people that I thought I was close with, they all showed up, man. They all showed up for a reduction in sentence. Did they all tell the truth? Want me to tell you the truth? When you go to prison, man, you say, oh, man, the people lied on me. It's everyone else's fault. And I did that for years, man. I did that for 9, 10 years. But truth of the matter is, most of the stuff that they said was true, man. They weren't in there testifying and lying. They were in there testifying, telling on me, saving their ass, and telling the truth, man. Crazy, right? I don't want you to be that dude, man. I don't know you, but I care about you. I care about you enough to make these videos, man. I care about you enough to make these videos, and people are gonna, you know, talk about me, and I get people that say nasty things sometimes on comments, and I do these videos because I care. I don't do it because I need the money, man. The money's low. All the money that this channel makes goes to Devin. He's got to have a job. He edits, man. I mean, eventually we can make some money. Maybe we can do some big things with it. But that's not the mission, man. The mission is to help you think about what you're doing. The mission is to inform you of what the consequences are. Not just that you might die in the street. Not that you might go to prison for the rest of your life. But also that your friends and your family members, they'll be there, man. They won't be there to send you commissary money. Most of them. They won't be there to accept a phone call. Most of them. They won't be there to write a letter. Most of them. Your girl, she won't be there either. She'll be gone. No. Most of them will be at that trial, man, if you decide to go that route. Or the government will use your friends, man. They'll use your friends to do what? To intimidate you into taking a plea to 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. And the lawyer explains it to you, hey man, it's better than life, man. You're 24, if you get 20 years with your good time, I know it sucks, but you'll get out when you're 40. You still got a life. If not, they're gonna give you life and you're never gonna get out. And what decision do you make? Some people are so hurt, so angry, so devastated, they say, I ain't taking no plea. I'm taking them to the box. I'm going to trial. And then they end up with life. 50, 60 years. And they're like, damn, man, I didn't think they'd really do that. But they really do. They don't discriminate. They don't care how old you are. They don't care about you having a rough background or a hard upbringing. They don't care that your mother was a drug addict, that your father was absent from your life. They don't care about any of that. None of that matters. What matters is when that judge hits that gavel, when that judge sends you to prison for the rest of your life. That's all that matters. You're just another number, man. You're someone that they count 2 or 3 times a day and say, yup, he's still here. He's got another 30 years and he's still here. You don't want to live like that. I know you don't. And you know the crazy part is? You know that you don't. But the big decision is whether or not you're strong enough to make the choice, man, to walk away. To fold your hand and do something better with your life, man. You shouldn't be involved in a shootout at a crack house, man, over a couple $1,000s, man. These dudes robbed us for what? A 62? For $4,000, $4,500? And the next thing we know, we're exchanging bullets. You know, I talked about that kid the other day that got killed. They say he was accidentally killed, man. Straight bullet hit him. Wasn't intended for him. 2 other people were shooting at each other and he ends up dead. What would have happened if we killed the kid, man? I don't know. Some people don't care, but I care. I don't care. I don't want to kill any kids, man, or I don't want to kill anybody. I don't want to see any mothers bury their little kids. And I'm sure you don't either. Most people don't. Your life's worth more. You know, like I always say, man, mirror, mirror on the wall, go check that thing out. Because that's just you and yourself all alone. You're talking to yourself, man. What you want to do, man? What do you want to do with your life? You're worth more. People need you out here. Could have lost my life. When Wody was laying on the ground, they could have easily shot me in the face, man. His arm was right here. My face was right here. I'm the one that peeled the curtain back. And I felt the glass hit me before I ever heard the gunshot. That's real, man. That's raw. That's what this channel's all about. It's about making you think, man. Make you think. And at the end of the day, if you say, hey, man, it's the life that I choose, then that's the life that you choose. And maybe someday you'll be sitting in a prison cell thinking about Blood on the Razor Wire TV and wishing that you made a different decision. I hope not. I hope not. You got more potential, man. Believe in yourself. Believe that you have a worth, man. That you are worth. You're worthy of so much more, man, than what you're giving yourself right now. Blood on the Razor Wire TV, man. Real, raw, get it together. Until tomorrow, we're out.